Hi, it's Michelle. Are you a new parent or a parent that's really worried about where your child is and with their development in the new CDC guidelines? Well, if you're going off the new guidelines, you should be worried. Having changes in milestones, changing the way children have developed over the past centuries or since we've been around to now, I really can't comprehend how it's clear for a parent. First of all, you as a parent, your main purpose is to care for your children. That care is your movement development. The movement development is a foundation for everything that they do. As babies, going into toddlers, then into children, even as grown adults, your children are moving through life. They have to be able to go into something. The whole main reasons for milestones are not for these static poses, right? So one of the biggest confusions people have is like, I want crawl, I want sit, I want walking. What you really should be looking for, and this is the purpose and the foundation for movement lesson, is those transitional skills. Can they get in and out of a position or situation? And it's no different than how we work as an adults, right? So we go through life and we're, that's our whole thing is, can we get in and out of? Now, it might be getting in and out of a car, but really our emotional states, our psychological states, who we are all of that, our intelligence as we go in and out of positions corporately are based off of these foundational movements. So now to say something like crawling really isn't a milestone, I beg to differ, because you have to be able to get in and out of certain positions, but that comes from movement, right? So we have tummy time. We have to get in and out of tummy time. That's why rolling over starts coming into play. And getting in and out of rolling over really is a negotiation of learning vision now and how to keep your eye on something visually attained. And I want the ball, and all of a sudden I'm on my belly and coming back again. Your baby doesn't wake up one day and go, you know what? I should have been rolling over about 3 weeks ago. I better start it now. That's when all their subsenses are coming into together. A really big, not noted milestone, and it's huge in my books, is grabbing the feet. Why? Do you know there's a quarter of your bones in your hands and a quarter of your bones in your feet? So half your bones in your body are in your hands and your feet, right? To do all these fine motor skills. But what happens when I'm grabbing my feet, my toes, it's the first time I articulate all my metatarsals, metatarsals within those fine little bones within the hands and feet. It's a really big milestone. It also is that big initiation of that crossing midline that starts to come into play. Right? And also too, that's when with the grabbing of the feet, the eye convergence, it'll still be very immature, starts to also come into play around that 4.5 month level. You're getting into sitting. Sitting a child up like a teddy bear does not count as a milestone. Well, it does in the state of Arizona. I don't know about your state, but they refer to, can your child sit, meaning being placed into sitting. That is not a milestone, because again, what's the key situation here? You got it. They can't get in and out of the situation. So actually coming to sitting for my back is the way I want to come to sitting. Now, because people aren't familiar with how milestones move, right? Because we're after static pose of just sitting, right? What we don't want is our child rolling to their belly and going up on their knees and coming into sitting that way. It is very popular. You'll see that more with ADD and autism, right? But not necessarily as a defining factor, by the way. But you want to come up to sitting through the back. It works on your visual arches. It starts setting up your reading and all that with your vision. And it keeps your eye on the prize. Rolling to my belly and then coming up on all fours and sitting up is a lot more work, and I lose my visual interest, right? And so that's where, again, where I was talking about with ADD comes into play. But there are issues with midline upper thorax issues, visual issues, and can come into play there. And now we've got where I'm sitting and from coming in from sitting and then into all fours, back into sitting. That's a precursor to crawling. And as I'm crawling, and now my pelvis is nice and independent, so I don't, and again, CDC says pull up to standing. No, you'll see much more where their right foot becomes independent, right or left foot, and I can come into a stand. My squat comes into play because the pelvis now is independent coming into standing. With that, again, I have a good pubic bone strike and things like that. I'm going to be going all over these in my webinar, a real quick overview, but I really want to hone in more. So again, are you worried about what's going on with the CDC? I really am. Financially, physically, early intervention is a great program that's in many states, many countries, where a child has to be 50% delayed in one area or 25% delayed in two areas of more. When you start taking away milestones, guess what? You're taking away delays. So now this wait and see gap, or they're just kind of figuring it out. But again, if you're not familiar more so with what I teach here is those transitional movements, right? All of us want to know how to get in and out of a situation, especially parenting, right? And that's what we're here trying to do. And then to go into it and not understand that. And guess what? I was told my son would never walk because he wasn't doing this by two. Two seems to be the real big problem with that. Well, now they're saying that walking doesn't happen now from 12 to 18 months, right? They've delayed all that. So now you're saying 18 months, my child's not walking. Not understanding why, because these milestones are just getting really stretched out. But they're supposed to be walking by two, and if they don't, so now you've got they should be walking by 18 months, but if they don't walk by two, they're never going to walk. So where are you going to go with that? So I'd like to just take some time. Webinars are nicer for me. I can have these nice little formats. Here I'm just talking with my hands. And I really hope you join me because I don't want you to be a worried parent. I was sick with worry half my life with my son. And there's no reason why this should keep happening. Right? This is why we have the trainings, the teaching, the clinics. We've got practitioners around the world. This is why we're here to help you. But at the same time, if you're getting information that you're being told you don't need help, what parent doesn't need help? That's just number one. Every parent needs help. Whether you're doing movement lesson or not, that's not the problem. Or you need help. Why wouldn't you need help? We've been saying it for centuries. It takes a village. We need help. We have relatives for this and all that, but we need to have an understanding of what our foundations are for our family, for our children, our development. And if you have questions about your child's development, when it means I have questions about how my child is moving, right? We can't go back to, we don't see birth trauma, so they should be. And that's not how it works. And it shouldn't be. You should have really a growth chart, a weight chart, and a movement chart. It's just that simple. So I don't want you to wait and see. I don't want you to be stressed out. I don't want you to be worried. So please join me on Friday. When I get off here, I'm going to post the link up. I look forward to having you. We do lots of great webinars. If you need more personal interaction from me, just go over to my private page, Movement Lesson for Parents and Practitioners, where you can get that individual help if you need it. Obviously, Zoom consultations are coming to the clinic, but again, we have a lot going on in the world, right? And that's why, the online is just so great. And we hope to have you here on Friday so you can learn more about what the milestones really need to be for your child. Thanks.